Good morning, viewers. Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desomos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new, on this channel I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share the video with your friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. I really enjoy starting my videos with a backup. So, back in the days, many years ago, I got employed in a corporation, and I was supposed to be a supervisor in that corporation. Now, eventually in those days, I wasn't aware about narcissism. I didn't know anything about narcissism. So, in that corporation, the boss was a narcissist. To be precise, I think that boss was a malignant narcissist. And many of the times I noticed that that boss didn't want to pay the workers. So, of course, me, because, you know, as you guys already know, I've always been the black sheep in my family. And normally the black sheeps, they are usually the guys who call out people on their BS. So I noticed that that boss, that particular individual, they did not want to pay the workers their wages. So every now and then, at the end of the month, because those workers in that time, they used to get their salaries at the end of each and every end of the month. So the boss would refuse to pay the workers. I would just go to the office. I'll tell the boss, say, you know what, it's time for you to pay the workers and everything. So the boss noticed that actually every end of the month I was becoming a problem. I would go there. I would tell her straight in the face that she's not paying the workers, and she was supposed to pay the workers. So for somehow, that boss started resenting my position in that company. So later on, that thing went on, and a couple of months later, that boss conspired with the manager in that premises, in that corporation. She conspired with the manager that they should get me fired and sacked out of the job. So all of a sudden, I just woke up one morning. They called me to the meeting and they told me you have to leave because of A, B, C, and D. So they gave a lot of different particular reasons that weren't adding up and weren't making sense. So I got fired from that position. But let's remember something, chosen ones. In the beginning of me entering that corporation, the company was just opening up, so they were just starting the business. And when I came into that business took off. I don't know for some reason what happened, but that boss, for some reason, that boss was making millions in the early months of that business. They made millions. Now, upon my firing, when they fired me from that corporation, that is exactly when the whole drama started. The company went down. There was no more business. There was no more clients. There was no more customers. The whole business went down completely to the ground, and it reached a point whereby the business was actually, they had actually to sell off that business because they could not handle the bills and the expenses and everything and the maintenance. So they sold off the business. The business went flat. Not only did that particular individual lose the business, but also that particular individual also lost her marriage. So they fell out with the husband eventually, and they got divorced. And then I remembered one thing in those days when I was speaking to the manager, because in those last days we had a little word with the manager before I left the company. I told the manager that, you know what, at some particular time you guys are going to get the truth of what is going on. And I know that God is on my side, and I know that I've not done anything wrong in this company. So I know that at one point in time, the right thing will be done, and somebody somehow, they're going to get their revenge. And believe me, guys, at the end of that situation, the boss lost the business. They sold off the business to an investor. Not only that, but also the boss lost her own marriage. Second incident I'll give you guys in those early days of my life, of my evolution. So I was working for this other corporation, and there was this particular driver who was meant to drive us and drop us off to work, pick us from our homes and drop us off to work and return us to our homes. So there was this particular guy who was given the assignment of doing that job. So I remember one day, that particular individual, for some reason, they didn't like me. And I don't know for what some reason. The chosen ones, normally there are some people, very evil people, when they meet you the first time, they're going to resent you straight away. They will not like you straight away. For no apparent reason, you will not have to say anything. You will not have to do anything. Those particular individuals are going to resent you, and they're going to hate you for no apparent reason. So that particular guy they employed to drive that car, to drive us and drop us off to work, that particular guy, he started causing problems with me. So what he used to do, he would drive off the car and stop at the highway. Now, of course, the highway was a very long distance from my home. He was initially supposed to drop us exactly in front of our homes, but that particular guy, he gave all kinds of excuses, and he dropped us off. He dropped me off, particularly me. He dropped me off on the highway. In the middle of the highway, just stop and tell me get out of the car. Of course, I'm not a violent guy. I don't like quarreling and all these kind of things. I would just get out of the car and walk home at a very long distance. It wasn't a problem for me. I would do that all the time. He did that thing for about a week, and then one time I asked him, why is it that you're always dropping me off on the highway? First of all, it's very, very dangerous, because eventually you have to get out of the car on the highway, and then you have to jump the barriers and slope down the hill, which was very risky for me as well. So I asked him, why was he always dropping me off on the highway? He told me because he's the final decision maker, so he was given authority, and the decisions were only made by him, where he can drop me off, where he can pick me up. So anyhow, I did not fight with it as well. I let it go. In a few weeks later, that situation, the confrontation didn't even take about 2-3 weeks, only for me to realize that actually that particular individual, they had been fired from that corporation and they lost their job. Now, of course, like you guys already know, in my early days, I did not know anything about being chosen. I didn't know anything about who I was. But I noticed that actually for some reason there were things that were happening to particular individuals along my journey. And in this case, we're talking about karma. So normally whenever I would face a lot of these kind of circumstances, those particular individuals would face their own karma, with or without me having to be there, with or without me having to see it. But of course, I would eventually find out and I would know about it. In this video, something what you want to know, guys, chosen ones, I want to let you know something very important. The chosen ones, most of you guys are sent to people, particular individuals, as a blessing. But because you see, we live in a very wicked world, and a lot of guys want to do all sorts of evil to particular individuals, and I don't know for why. The reason is that a lot of individuals, they want to do a lot of harm and havoc to the chosen ones. I'm talking about those guys who have good intentions, because the chosen ones, in anybody you've ever encountered on your journey, you have never met anything bad for them. The only thing you wanted to do is cooperate with them, work with them, love them, give them whatever. So the chosen ones, we have always been a blessing in people's lives. But you see, the world we live in is so wicked that whereby a lot of guys will not recognize the only blessing they have, the last blessing they have in their own life. And in this case, we're talking about a lot of those toxic individuals, most of the individuals have always been encountering on a daily basis. The only thing they don't understand is that you are the only blessing they have got. It is like the end of the straw. It is like after you, there's nothing left. But because of their wickedness and the failure to see the importance of your job, of your role in their own lives, what they do, they start to punish you, they start to resent you, they start to hate you, they start to steal from you, they start to destroy you in each and every single way. Why? Because you're a very good person. A lot of you guys chosen ones, you can concur with me that you have never meant any harm for anybody. Anybody has ever come across your way, you have never meant any harm for them. Whether it has been, now of course, eventually, on my videos, I usually talk about toxic relationships, narcissism, and all these kind of things. Those individuals, in the first case, the only thing you have ever done for them is to help them. Because when a chosen one comes into somebody's life, the first thing they are going to do is they are going to notice all these little things that are not adding up. And what they do, when they come into those people's lives, they start adding up the puzzles. And they start to help those individuals in many kinds of ways. But again, a lot of people are absorbed too much in evil, whereby they can barely recognize the only blessing they have got in their lives. And what do? They start to do havoc, they start to destroy you, they start to do everything that describes evil in your life. Now, of course, the chosen ones, at some point in time, the chosen ones, what they do, when they notice that actually things are going bad, they will either draw back or they actually remove themselves from those situations. But let me guarantee you something, chosen ones. The very moment anybody decides or opts to do some kind of harm to you, and that thing ever causes you pain, let me repeat this, guys, so that you understand this, and I want you to listen very, very closely. chosen ones, they are angelic beings. A lot of them are light workers, a lot of them are earth angels. So when they come into your life and you never recognize their blessing, the blessing that you have in front of you, you do not recognize that blessing for some way. And instead of that, you start destroying them and making them feel some kind of a pain. Now, when that pain gets deep, that is where the problem starts. Because you know why? When that pain gets deep into their souls, I'm talking about the chosen ones, what they do, they will send out a very terrible frequency. Now, that frequency, of course, most of those guys, they do it subconsciously, because remember, everybody feels pain. Even the chosen one feels pain. Anybody on this planet, they feel pain. But when you cause a pain, when you cause that amount of pain and that degree of pain to a very good and a big blessing and a very good innocent individual, that particular person will send out a very negative frequency to the universe, and that person is going to resent you from the bottom of their soul. When that frequency goes out into the universe, and you know that you've had that person, I can guarantee you guys, if you're an evil person, you have got to make sure that you go back and apologize to that person. If you know that that person has been good to you, and the only thing they have done in your life is bless you, they bought you a house, they bought you a car, they helped you with money, they found you a job, they did so many kinds of things to your life, and the only thing you've done was bring them pain and bring them havoc and bring them destruction, and they have felt that particular pain in the depth of their soul. What happens is that they are going to send out a very negative frequency into the universe, and that frequency is going to have your name on it. So it does not matter how long it takes. You can take months, you can take years. It does not matter where you go. It does not matter how hard you try, how hard you even hide. But believe me or not, karma is going to get back to you very, very hard. Why? Because you have messed with the chosen one. And most of the cases, the chosen ones, they do not even intend. Because remember, guys, I've told you, the chosen ones, they do not have any bad intentions for anybody. The only thing they do, when you try to destroy them and they notice that actually you're resenting them and you're trying to destroy them, sometimes even permanently, those individuals, they're going to send out a frequency to the universe, and that frequency is going to have your name written on it. And believe me or not, God is listening. It does not matter how long it takes. It does not matter how much you hide. It does not matter what you do. If you have not come back and apologized to those particular individuals, the karma is going to hit you really, really bad. So in this video is to let you know that a lot of times, a lot of chosen ones around the world, they have come into this universe for very good reasons. The only thing they have been doing on this planet, because that is their job, the job of a chosen one is to enlighten and to uplift and to help a lot of individuals on this planet. They have done their work, and a lot of them are still doing their work. Me personally, I've been doing this work even without knowing it. I have been blessing a lot of people along my journey without even knowing it. I never knew that I was a chosen one in the first place. I have been meeting a lot of individuals, and I've blessed a lot of those kind of guys without even me knowing it, that I was a chosen one. But anybody that has ever crossed my path and they have done all these kind of things along my journey, those individuals, when I look back in time, guys, I can guarantee you that they have got their own karma 100 times fold. So the world we live in today is a world whereby a lot of people, they want to do whatever it is they want to do to whoever they want to do. So they do not care who is in front of them. The only thing they do is to care about their own needs and their own personal needs. And what they will do, they will resent a lot of people who are even in most of the cases a blessing to their own lives. A lot of you chosen ones, you can concur with this. You have been meeting a lot of people along your journey. You've done so many good things for those individuals. For the most of you guys who have been involved with a lot of these toxic individuals' relationships, even some of you guys who have been the black sheep in your own family, you've had to endure a lot of abuse in those families from your own parents, relatives, sisters, and brothers. You have endured so much. Why? Because the only thing you've done is to absorb. Because remember, chosen ones, you are empaths. So the empaths, they're like emotional punching bags. So what happens is that the empaths, they normally absorb a lot of pain from the individuals around them, and most of the cases, even that pain does not even belong to you. The pain most of you guys chosen ones you've been enduring along your path, along your journey, that pain didn't belong to you. It was the pain coming in from other individuals around you. So you had nothing to do with it. But when you look back in time and you start to understand and start adding up all the puzzles of the people that have been involved in your life, if those individuals have been toxic and they never came back to apologize, to take responsibility of the actions that they did against you along your path, I can guarantee you guys, when you look back in time, you are going to notice that those individuals, they have had to face their karma 100-fold. And most of the times the individuals, they will come around, because when they reach rock bottom, that's when they are going to come around. Then they're going to start apologizing, because they will notice that actually for some reason they have done something very, very wrong to a chosen one, to a very good individual, a very nice person, a very beautiful soul in their lives. They have done something extremely difficult and extremely destructive. And after their karma, that is exactly when they remember that now they have got to come back and really apologize. Because I can guarantee you those kind of consequences, they are going to face those consequences for the rest of their lives. Because the chosen one, number one, let me tell you something important, guys. Number one, a chosen one has got a lot of power in their mouth, a lot of power in their words. So when the chosen one speaks something, it does not matter how small it is. That something, what they have spoken, it has got to come to fruition. When you ever do something to a chosen one, and that person speaks and says something out of their mouth, that person actually the chosen one, they even sometimes going to cast a spell without even knowing it. So they will send out something. That frequency is going to be very massive, whereby those people who have actually encountered the chosen one and destroyed their lives in some kind of a way, they are going to get their karma coming back to them. So those individuals, particularly the chosen ones, they have got a lot of power in their words. So when they say something, for me in that case, I just said, well, God is going to pay back these individuals, because I know personally I've not done anything wrong. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I said. God is going to pay back to them. God is going to pay back exactly what they deserve. And believe me, guys, before I knew it, even in my own absence, I did not even know, I wasn't even there. But believe me, guys, that particular frequency that I sent out in that time, it went and followed those individuals, and they got their karma big time, 100-fold. So, chosen ones, this video is to let you know that whichever person has come along your path, whichever person you've encountered in your way, those individuals, they may not have known it. They may sometimes, and again, sometimes I don't really, you know, as a chosen one, we don't really judge people. You know what I mean? But we understand that sometimes, with or without knowing it, some people even sometimes intend to do you harm without even knowing what they are doing. Because normally the things they do, or the acts they do, the destruction they put along your path, normally is on a very subconscious level. So sometimes many individuals, we know that they don't even mean to do those kind of things, but because they cause you destruction on a very big scale, a very massive scale, that is exactly what makes the chosen one to step out, and actually the chosen one will also send out a very, very powerful frequency into the universe. And believe me, guys, you can never ever make sure, guys, I don't know who is watching this video, but never ever in your life make a chosen one feel that amount of pain, because those chosen ones, they feel pain, and they are very, very, very big empaths. You know, an empath, they feel pain to a very, very massive degree. You know what I mean? So when you cause pain to an empath, you cause those empaths a lot of pain within their hearts and their souls, and even most of the cases, their bodies. And because of that, they are going to say something that they do not mean. A lot of chosen ones, they are going to send out that frequency without even meaning it, because the chosen ones were not destructive people. The chosen ones, they're not destructive people. They don't want to destroy anybody. They don't want to do any kind of harm to anybody, no matter who they are. But because a lot of people, they crossed along their path, those people, because they take their weakness, they take their silence or their kindness for weakness. That is the reason why those people, they come into your life and they start to do a lot of negative things in your life. Negative things, unimaginable things you can never imagine that a person can do to another human being. But the only thing they don't know is that they're messing with the chosen one. And in this case, most of these cases, those guys, those particular individuals, they have paid a very big price, a very big price. Sometimes even some of them, they have got very, very, very big serious issues with their own health. And worst case scenarios, there's a lot of individuals who have messed with the chosen ones, and they have ended up dying. So messing with the chosen one, people, you're messing with those individuals, you're messing with the child of the universe. You're messing actually with the child of God. And whatever you do, whether they see it, whether they don't see it, you know those individuals, they have got a very big team around them. And whatever it is happening around them, there's a very big watcher watching over their lives. Because why? Because those individuals, they're here to bless a lot of individuals on this planet, and to be a blessing to many individuals they encounter on a daily basis. So whether you know it or you don't know it, whether you see it or you don't see it, if you do something to a chosen one and you have not apologized to those particular individuals, you have not gone back to say an apology to them, and it has continued just in silence like that, I can guarantee you guys, those individuals, whether you knew it, whether they knew it or they didn't know it, they have sent out a frequency into the universe. And believe me guys, that karma is going to come back 10 times fold, or even sometimes 100 times fold. So guys, in this video, let me know what has been your experience as a chosen one. Let me know the people you have met along your journey, the people you have blessed, and the people who have tried to destroy you, the people who have tried to even sometimes you can even meet cases whereby chosen one, many people have even attempted to take their own lives. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they cannot handle niceness. A lot of people don't know how to handle empathy. So when you come to them and show them a lot of empathy and a lot of love, they don't know how to give that love back to you. So the only thing they do, they resent you, and they start to do a lot of destructive patterns in your life and cause you a lot of pain. Let me know what has been your experience, guys, in this video. If it has happened to you, let me know what has been your experience and what exactly have you seen, the blessings you have caused upon people. And also let me know, a lot of people, if there's anybody in your life that has faced the karma that I'm talking about. Until then, guys, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. Peace. And Nezomos signing out. I'll catch you in my next one.